Mm-hmm.
Have kind of reshuffled some things, and we're looking for different spaces or opportunities to go where they've already set up, and we just need to table, we call it tabling, or vend.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has been on the list. I think we found two places to look for parents. She wants to open up one for the younger kids, and of course,
Okay.
with the older kids. And I was like, you know what? Let's go in together. Let's do it together.
Ooh.
Work together. And so, so check out Outschooling if you want to be an ambassador. They have opportunities for you to get a little bit of funding to help. Just and of course, we're always going to promote them. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I just did it the other day.
I
Promote
know.
them, but also to help with funding to get yourself in a situation where you'll be able to get some more people to sign up and know about your school.
I love that. Thank you, Benita. I wouldn't even thought to talk about Outschool, but big shout out to Outschool always. Outschool is amazing when it comes to that. They're doing a lot of things in the community. So that's a good one. And event wise, they sponsored KindCon. I think spoke to you about this, Justine, too. But they are really kind of about like getting their name out there, especially the homeschoolers again and things of that nature. So that's a great idea. And then you brought up something else. The second one is events. Justine, you just did an event this past week. Andrea, I know you do events all the time. That trunk or treat that I'm like, I don't have that kind of energy. So I love it when other people do it because I don't like Urel, you do, you know what I mean? Y'all all do some amazing, beautiful things. And I'm like, man, I wish I had that energy, but I love living vicariously through y'all and going, that looks like an amazing idea. And I could see how that could bring people in because people want to see you in the community, right? Doing those things. Anything else, especially December, like thinking about, so I'm hearing like there's holiday events, things like that. Even if you have not had a chance to like get a table or a vendor or whatever, you can pop up at these things with your own flyers. You can drop your flyer, you can go talk to the other tables. You know what I mean? Like people want to see you in the community, but if you didn't have time to do it because it's already December, that's a great way to kind of just like go wear your t-shirt, drop flyers everywhere. You know what I mean? Like pass them out to people. Honestly, whenever I'm sitting at an event anyway, a lot of times like I'm sitting there, I always do bubbles. I don't know if anyone else, like everybody else does that, right? Bubbles. I always like bubbles brings the kids in. So I could bring like a bubble blower with my hands and start talking to kids that way if I don't have a table, like do like a bubble machine and walk with it. Um, but if you I always notice at events it's like especially depending on where you're at where you're because you don't get to pick your spot a lot of times. Sometimes you're in a spot that is not the greatest anyway, and a lot of times I would just like leave my table and start talking to people outside and bringing them over to me. So that's another thing that I always think about. If you are doing tables, my key to doing tables is bubbles, a bubble machine always. Like kids just cannot not do bubbles, right? Oil pastels or tempera paint sticks for my artsy people. Thank you, Terry. And I know the bubbles are a win. And then I also do Legos. So it's like I get the STEM kids, I get the artsy kids, and then I get the parents who have to follow their children wherever they go. So it just always ends up working out that parents come to my table. But okay, that's awesome. All right. Anyone else, especially in December? Hello, especially in December.
I
Hello,
did
Beyond
something
School Academy. Yes,
a
sorry, Justine,
little,
go ahead.
no, it's okay. I did something a little more boring than that. I mean, I did events, which were super fun. We just did
Oh, please,
tables.
you have
But
chainsaws at your school, Justine.
I
Like,
know.
you can be
No,
boring.
I
And
was,
fire.
yeah. No, we don't do those at tabling events.
No, but you could just tell
No.
people, and they're like, oh, yeah, my kid will love that.
Yeah, no, on the boring side though, I was just thinking about enrollment for next school year and setting my budget. And so I was
Mm,
like, do I
that is
need this?
boring. That is
It is
boring.
boring, but I felt like I needed to do it now
No, 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 no. It's
because
boring, but it's necessary. So, like, and I will
yeah,
talk budget all day long and really start thinking about, and we can totally chat in our coaching call. We need
yeah,
to set that up because your
because like,
numbers are going to need to be obviously
and
higher.
do I need more kids or do I need less staff? Or like, I actually thought my first year I was on track to make more money than I am
Mhm.
now with less
Mm,
kids and less staff because I just grew it and without like really thinking about it. So,
mm.
like, could I? So, I just started playing with those numbers, and then that affects how much I want to tell the community that we have or not, and is that the best use of my time or not? So
Yes.
that's like
Yes.
what I'm
And
thinking about right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. We definitely, I really do want to chat with you about that, like, and go really dig. That's like one of my favorite things to do is to really, especially because you're maxed out pretty much.
Yeah.
And I know you are, but I also know that your model is like doing very, very well. So
Yes.
that in itself means that, yes, it's time for you to be realistic about what, it makes sense. Happy to chat about it. I have some ideas already. I'm like, I want to say it all right now, but I don't want to take everything. But I think yes. I think yes.
Because then it's like we host, we host open houses or events, or we collect more people's names, and then it's just like a longer wait list, and then it's really stressful, and people are calling, or like, where am I?
And now you got to say no.
Yeah, and then I'm like, well, you're still on the wait list. I don't know.
I hate saying no.
Yeah.
That's one of my least favorite things to do is say no to people.
I know. I try not to say no. I try
I
to say like, this is what's happening.
That's a great problem to have. You know what I mean? Like and people, but at the same time, it's also like everybody will be here at some point.
And it's space. And we are fortunate to have a wait list, but it is exhausting because unless you're knowing where they're at, like you're spending time calling people that have changed a plan,
Of course.
And then you're like, well, I'm going to hold your spot for 2 days. So get back to me. And then you hold it for 2 days, or whatever.
And then they call you on day 3. And you're like, crap.
And you're like, well, I just gave it away. Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a whole thing. Waitlisting is a whole thing. I totally understand. I do have an idea of like what has to happen so Justine runs Curious and Kind. Shout out to Curious and Kind. I know I'll just like shout some people out on the phone. Andrea has Play School Academy in Coral Springs. I don't know who Beyond School is. I know Terry Ann. I know Maria. Maria has a virtual, like online. She's like in Jamaica all the time. I hope your house is okay. Urel has Trailblazers Micro School, who's doing amazing stuff. Allenson, I know you have a new name for yours. You want to pop it in there? Oh,
yes, it's Nova Learning Collective.
Nova Learning Collective. It's such a beautiful name. I know, isn't that beautiful? I know. I'm like, that's just such a gorgeous name. Thank you. And Orlando area, right? I think still?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, beautiful. And Port St. Lucie, Urel. Justine is near Tampa, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, just South Sarasota.
Benita you're not in Florida anymore. Where are you at now?
I feel like I'm in Florida all the time, but I'm in Memphis. I was just in Florida.
Tennessee. I was going to say that. Tennessee.
I'm in Tennessee, and they are over here fighting about vouchers because they didn't have a step up.
Right.
And they just had to let it go. And it went. And so now we're going to see what they're going to do, how they're going to try and wrangle it in. They don't have a plan.
They don't have a plan. So are you saying they don't have a plan to like get the vouchers, or they didn't have a plan for the vouchers and now they're just going away? So
they're going to keep them, but there's no plan. They didn't track them.
Ooh, Florida had the same thing happening. Oh, girl. Oh, yeah. $47 million last I checked. They basically public schools. So that's a whole thing, right? Everybody in here heard about that. So that's a whole conversation. Oh yeah, that's a big deal. Nobody knows what's real. Well, they didn't. Basically, they gave the money to all these people who were in school getting the FESUA and going to public school, and they were for 3 years, and they were like, "Oh, oops." And now there's like this big conversation around. I mean, I think we're going to be fine, but yeah, it's almost like, is this purposeful? Because that makes no sense.
Right. Because I was
lose $47 million. Like in my mind, I'm like, you know how much what I could do with 47? Like,
if I lose $47, I'm like, where'd it go? Where did my $47 go?
But that just shows you that people don't be knowing what they're doing. So when you like sit here, you're like, I don't understand. Like these big corporations, like they don't really know either,
I've been reading about the charter schools coming into the public schools. I was reading that.
Schools of Hope. That's a whole nother thing. I just think that like, I know it's all like, and I don't want to get too off topic, but I know, and my podcast should be, because we did the same exact thing. Like we will go back and forth and chat about like all of but I think as micro school founders, we are, just to quickly talk about that too. Like there is like a lot of controversy around what we do. I'm just keeping my head down and just doing what I do every single day and doing it well and calling it a day and being very specific about making sure that I'm very like crossing my T's, dotting my I's, right? Like, and just at the end of the day, like, keep serving the community as long as we can. Beyond School, I know I saw you come up. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you want to pop back on. I don't know your name. I apologize.
It's okay. It's okay. I just got I got a phone call. My name is Andrea. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Is it Andrea?
Yes.
Where are you at?
I'm in Hollywood. My
cool.
Facebook name is Andy Soto.
Oh, Andy!
Yeah, so I know I reached out to you.
Andy.
a couple of times. I wouldn't be here without this amazing community. So I'm very thankful for everything you guys do. Yeah, so I am very new. I'm no longer school and academy. I'm beyond prep.
Okay.
So I just haven't gotten to the name change in every platform.
That's
Yeah, I'm
okay.
located in Hollywood, and this is my first year. So
Congrats. It looks like you're doing amazing
thank
too.
you.
Like, I don't know if if y'all ain't following each other, like, it looks like you're doing amazing things so far for your first year. It looks like amazing. So I love it.
So far, so good. I'm very, very thankful for, the families that put their trust in me. So we're doing great things.
Yay. I love it. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing. All right. That's amazing. Thank you. Welcome, Andy. It's nice to see your face to put in
Thank you. Nice to meet
Welcome,
you.
welcome. Nice to meet you finally too. Okay, I'm checking the chat if anyone has any questions or anything in there. I do want to quickly just like teach my little lesson thing. Does anyone have any questions about like any of this that we've talked about so far, or should I jump back in? Questions, comments, jump back in. All right. I'm not going to show you my mess of my notes here. Like, I was going to share, and then I was like, this is a lot at once. But December is such a huge deal, right? December is a really huge deal because it kind of gets you going into what should be happening next. Like Justine just said, let me start thinking about budget. I know it feels early, but this is the way most schools are really thinking along the lines of where they're at, especially if you have time to start thinking about enrollment now. People are starting enrollment January for real, for real. Parents that are early are going to come in January. Those are really like your parents who are settled. They know what they're doing. They're super organized. They've been planning since, earlier a few weeks back, and they, want to keep going. So those are some of my amazing parents that come through January. I love it. Mid-year switches spike after winter break. So a lot of people are going, I do not like what's happening in traditional school right now. I would love for my kid to come. Some of them are like, I would love for them to come right now. But some of them are like, I'm just looking for next year. And that's totally fine. I like to get those families going. Sometimes you might feel like those families are like, sometimes I'm like, damn, like this is early. And I don't really want to kind of waste time a little bit on like doing tours for families who are thinking about next year. But a lot of those times, families are just so organized and so ready to do something that they generally come back if you show them, and if you're patient with them and understanding and, showing them kind of who you are. If you're visible this month, families generally will DM you and kind of stick in your circle. So go ahead and keep them. School Choice Week is also another big kind of launch. I know Tanya Kipe, I shout her out all the time. Even for the name Curiosity Day, she does Curiosity Day during School Choice Week. And that's a good way to get marketing from like school. If you reach out to School Choice Week, Step Up for Students, like they're usually doing a lot of marketing. So you can kind of get involved. Microschool Florida is generally doing a lot with them too. So connecting with them is a good way for you to kind of get the word out about your program as well. Okay. So kind of our enrollment formula, especially for January, like I feel like there's two big pushes in the year. There's like all July-ish, August, when people are really like, oh my gosh. And then there's another big bump for December, January. And I love this time. It's like my favorite time of year because like finally, like we're getting, like we get attention and then we have slowdowns again. But it's really nice to kind of get a lot of those phone calls. But some of the things I try to keep up with in December, especially, is visibility, a lot of posting, a lot of photos, a lot of stories, and winter camp, really starting to share about those things. I'm also really doubling down with families. A lot of times around this time of year, especially if you're on like more of a month-to-month program, if you don't have a contract signed for the year, this is when your families are considering switching. So asking them, surveying them, talking to them, making them feel valued, and doing a ton of things so that the kids feel loved and valued, obviously all throughout the year, but especially now when they're going to be leaving for 2 weeks, you want them to remember you for the next, for that break that they're going to have, because that is really a time for people to start going, especially homeschoolers. They're ready to go. They don't stick with anything they don't like. So just, you know what I mean? Like that's the truth, y'all. Joy. So some of the things that we do, especially in-house to make it feel really like beautiful, is hot cocoa parties. We do a lot of crafting. We do a lot of baking. And this year we're doing a holiday market for the kids that are in our, and I think you just did one too, Justine, right? A holiday market. It's so funny. Like we all kind of are doing, but that way the kids can kind of buy from each other and sell, and entrepreneurship. Capitalism is a big thing in this month, but I'm really talking about like ethical capitalism and ethical entrepreneurship. So that's a great way to kind of embed our, belief systems kind of in what's happening in the world, et cetera, all the good stuff. All right. Invitations, Curiosity Day, demo days, drop-off events, like keep those things going as much as possible. Keep posting about them. You'd be surprised people come. So like I said, we have like what we're doing at Kind during December. Signature event, the hot cocoa and pajama party. We've done that every single year. People post about it. Winter camp. So I really don't like doing camps, quite honestly. Like camps usually don't bring us a ton in financially. Justine, we don't have chainsaws, okay? So if you like, don't look at me like it's not. So generally speaking, a lot of our families are homeschoolers. They usually take the break. They are academic focused somewhat, so they take the break from that kind of thing. So for them, it's like, and they vacation, they take trips, they're away. So camp is not really, at least with our in-house people. Generally, we'll get like public school kids that will come to that, and then they go back to the public school, but they needed something. But what I have noticed is that when we do camps, even if it's not like a huge bump that month, what it does is it allows people to see what we're doing every day. It keeps our name out there. We can also do demo days. We can also do talking to people, and you know what I mean? Like, and getting the tours coming in and things like that. It's just a good way. And I'm basically doing Facebook ads for them too. So there's an awareness component of it too. You know what I mean? But that's kind of the strategy. But it's a low pressure way. You know what I mean? We're keeping it super light. We're keeping it super laid back. It's going to be just a fun, thing for everybody to do. Okay. All right, I like that idea. Oh, and then kids, like they came to our program in the summer and they're like, well, you know what? Like in the winter or summer, and they're like, you know what? I can come to the school, maybe not this year or maybe not this semester, but next semester, that becomes a good lead generation tool. All right, Curiosity Day, family. So we got a ton of signups on her. I'm actually kind of scared. My Curiosity Day is on Friday, and I'm gonna have to tap somebody. You want to come down? Like, I'm like, oh, I don't think I have. I think I have two teachers. Hi, Mimi. Come down and hang out because I'm like,
oh my God, I would love to.
I think I have two teachers. Hi, Mimi. And I think like we have so far, and I'm about to stop the sale on it. It's like 20 people, 20 families, I think. And I never know how many are going to show up. I also do a scholarship, like how the scholarship works and how homeschooling works, and also like throw in like who we are and what we do. But it can get very busy very, very fast. So, but we'll keep it like STEM based. We have the blocks there. We have like cool winter inspired crafts that they can take home, things like that to kind of bring them in. So that's that's on Saturday. And I'm like, I'm nervous. It's a lot of people, at least, I don't know who's going to show. In my mind, I'm like, this is going to be a big event. I don't usually do huge events like this anymore because we've kept it like small and intimate based off of our program and our space. But we'll see. I'm about to close out on that. But a Curiosity Day is great for December. If you haven't already kind of posted one, Curiosity Day is a great idea. I even like the idea of like a Curiosity Day later, like after Christmas, might be a cool thing if you haven't already. But even 2 weeks out, and if you do like ads and you push it in a bunch of groups, people will sign up for it. So I suggest, if you haven't done a Curiosity Day, to get one going if you want to start filling your program and you're starting or you have stuff in January. Okay. Posting in groups is always like the greatest thing in the world. I always feel like posting in groups is great. I do paid ads though. I usually just boost my posts. I do know how to do Facebook ads. I don't really care to do them, honestly, usually. But I can if I have to, like the way of like checking the actual like testing A versus B, like split testing and things like that. I could do something on that, but it's ads are not really the most fun thing in the world, but they are a great way on Facebook, especially to get kids in the door. Okay. Consistency though, like I know like people are like, I don't want to post because nobody ever likes my post. I'm like, keep posting. Just keep posting. People are looking at your post just because they're not engaging with it, just because they're not liking it, just because they're not asking you questions. They're seeing it. And if you post it all the time, 2 or 3 times a week, 4 times a week, you'll build a following off of that. People will start asking questions or start just coming to your program because I think the touch point now, it used to be 7 times. People want to see you like 12 times before they start trusting you online. So you really want to make sure, especially if you're posting online, to do it. In person's even better. Videos, good too. Local mom groups, homeschool groups, parenting groups. You can do ads, especially at this time of year, considering switching, school not working, is your kid not happy? You know what I mean? Like those are kind of the conversations that people are starting to come up with in December, usually. Entrepreneurship and holiday market. This is great for parents to kind of come out and see what your micro school is doing, especially when it comes to passion-based learning. Service projects. We always do like acts of kindness week or acts of kindness calendar, and all the things that your kids can do to show acts of kindness is this month for them. Okay. I'm trying not to talk too much. I can't believe I taught that much already, y'all. Okay, my CEO takeaways. So I'm basically restructuring our program a little bit. We did reduce how many students we had in house. For now, is basically what ended up happening, and I've kind of like restructured a bit. The grants that we were kind of the grants that were out before are not the same grants that are available anymore. So that's changed kind of like the direction of some of the things that we do. So what that means for me is that I'm still making sure that my life is super sustainable. I'm still like leaning on my people and delegating to them just in a different kind of way. But sometimes like we have these moments where we do have to go. So I'm back in the building, which is very unique for me. I haven't been in a little while, but it's kind of fun. And I haven't been able to do this for so long that it's a very interesting kind of change from just CEOing and only like doing meetings all the time to being in class with students and doing things like Shark Tank with them. So that's kind of like the way that um, my life has kind of been going. And I want to just let everyone know, like, I know that everybody's had like a few things kind of maybe change in their life in the past 3 months or so. And like my life has changed dramatically in the past 3 months. And when you're doing this micro school thing, like it's going to be changes and ebbs and flows and wins and losses and challenges and failures. And I'm just like taking it all with a grain of whatever. The other thing that I quickly want to talk about is like winter blues. A lot of especially micro school founders right now are super stressed out. Every time I talk to someone, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm dying." like my school could be fine, but like this other side of it is not really. So I just want to remind you, like the same thing I'm reminding myself is like, you've already built something that's amazing. Like, and people are still always going to be coming through to you. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to be able to pivot and do something new. You've already done it throughout this time. So just keep doing that. Like, it's okay. Like, we're going to have these moments where you feel like maybe things aren't going perfectly or as planned. And it's okay. Like, I don't know if anything is ever really going to be perfect, like exactly the vision that you have of what it's supposed to be. Especially if you're a perfectionist like me, you're always going to be trying to make it better and you're always going to want it to be something and you're always going to want to improve it, and that's okay. Like I think that if I wasn't always trying to improve whatever I'm doing, I'd be bored out of my mind. So if you're anything like that, just understand like the anxiety and the stress and the depression or anything else that might be coming along with some of this stuff, like we're kind of choosing to be like that. Like just remember to let it go. Like it I promise you it just always works out. So that's kind of my final word on all of that. Please rest. Please take care of your mental health, especially during this time where things are crazy because you're doing stuff at home and you're doing things with the kids and da 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 da. So please make sure you're taking care of yourself because that's super important. I see a lot of schools closing. Um, I get it. I understand it, and I would never say anyone to sacrifice their their mental health for any of this at all. But take care of yourself even before you get to that point is kind of a good idea. And if you have to get to that point, like I still support you and love you and all that good stuff. So that's it on the talking for me. I feel like I've talked way too much anyway, as usual. So, yay. All right. So, coaching, questions, wins, challenges. Mimi just popped in. I don't think I've met you either, Mimi. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Do you want to do a
Yeah,
quick, like, where your school is?
sure. I'd love to chat. I joined in on some of your calls before, but always stayed in the background, just listening and gaining a wealth of knowledge from you all. But thank you for making this platform feasible where we can come in and just pick your brain and pick each other's brain and yes, share our
Yes.
highs and our lows. I am a hybrid learning pod located in Miami Lakes. So
Mm-hmm.
we are kind of South Broward, North Dade borderline, which
Mm-hmm.
is great because we're getting kids from everywhere. We are maxed out. We don't have space available for students, but what I'm finding
Woohoo!
is we don't have teachers. So there's enough students, but not
Like,
enough teachers because
why don't
everybody
like
wants
you
to
just
open
can't
up.
win?
So I'm feeling that fatigue. I am feeling that burnt out feeling that you were talking about because I'm just doing everything. I'm doing social media and I'm doing teaching, and then we do a few different things. So we have an enrichment program 1 day a week, and then we have an academic program 3 days a week. And then we
Mm-hmm.
offer tutoring in the afternoons from 3 to 6. And then we have a mommy and me program, and we're
Oh,
just we have a lot of things, but not a lot of hands, right?
I hear that.
So we are trying to sustain ourselves and not, I don't want to burn out my teachers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're kind of, we're in year 2, 3 kind of, because I
Two and
first
a half.
started in the homes and then I was tired of driving to everybody's home. So then we opened up the center and everybody's been coming to us and it's been great. But you know, we're growing and we need more people.
I'm so like, that's so great. Like, it's always like either one or the other side, right? It's like,
Right.
we need more students or need more teachers or whatever. I think Justine was talking about that too. I keep shouting
Mhm.
Justine out. I'm sorry, my love. But Mimi, that's so cool to hear. I didn't know like where you were, kind of like the background, but I get that. I think that
Yeah.
we always kind of have that thing, like not enough teachers or not enough students or too many students. And you know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely a
Yeah.
part of it. And the burnout is real, y'all. Burnout
Right.
is definitely something. I feel
And
like when you get that 2 week break, like that's when your brain will be able to like come up with more solutions, you know?
oh,
Go
but
ahead.
Iman, you can also speak to this when you homeschool your own child and run your business and your child is in your business, it's like you don't get a break.
Oh no,
Your work
no.
also comes home with you, right?
Always, always, always. And I have 4, so I'm always, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, so I'm always like, I'm actually leaning to more unschooling. I lean more towards unschooling. So especially this month, it's really like, hey, what can you read and write about? You know what I mean? And let's finish just your math. And we're just like kind of like taking it easy. Usually by November, my kids are burned out anyway. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
burned out too. But I
Right.
get it. I get it. Just try to do, I think like for me, it's like try to do as much fun stuff now so that, you know what I mean? More laid
Yeah.
back, fun stuff as much as possible because everyone's done. Kids, adults,
Yeah.
everyone.
That's
But good
good.
luck on finding more teachers. Like,
Thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
know. If you ever post in the group and you want us to share, like you can always do that. Like that's something that
Yes,
has
that
worked
would be
really well.
amazing.
I'm happy to share that kind of thing all the time too. And people are always asking us if we're hiring. And I'm always like, I'm sorry, we're maxed out on teachers right now. But I'm happy to
Yeah.
share with other people. So
I
yeah.
love that. Thank you so much.
Sure thing, Mimi. Nice meeting you. I love it.
Likewise.
Yes, awesome. Okay, any wins, any challenges, anything else happening, any hot seat coaching that needs to happen?
So really quick, I know y'all were talking about teachers. I finished a teaching semester on the 15th. I've been teaching
Mm.
virtually ELA middle and high school class for
Ooh.
PEY Academy. I'm in Tennessee, so they're in Mississippi.
Mhm.
And I am like sad. Like I didn't think I was gonna be sad. I work for a
Yeah.
nonprofit, and we are trying to actually through the nonprofit start a medical district micro school. So they're like asking me to come on full time, and so that's one.
Nice. That's hold on. Is that a win? Because that sounds like a win. Like that sounds like because I know you've been wanting to do this for a long time. So that sounds like a really amazing kind of opportunity. So hand clap,
It was
clap, 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 right?
yes, because I keep
I
every time
love
I
that.
ask about like what can we do next, I was like, there's no micro school for a pipeline. And every time, like I know my president looks at me every time. I'm like, so
Micro school, micro school, micro school.
workforce development and micro schools go hand in hand.
Yes.
So you always last. But I was gonna say I was only getting paid $25 an hour. I met 2 hours Monday and 2 hours Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So and I got it from LinkedIn. I saw it
Mm,
out on LinkedIn. I was like, hey, I still like to teach. I do need a little, gas money, extra money.
right.
Um, and so I know we're looking for teachers. If you're open to hiring a virtual teacher and being able to work with his or her schedule, the kids that they told me, they were like, no, don't leave. I was like, look, if I could stay and y'all could come at 5 p.m. and I teach you, great, but y'all are in activities as you should be.
Right.
Things. So just don't always look for that and post it, post it, post it. It has
Mm-hmm.
been so rewarding to me. I learned some new songs. They have kept me alive when I was having a rough day. Teaching class was really good to be out of
Yeah.
the
It's
business.
nice to teach after, especially after you take a little bit of while away. I'm like, I love the adults, but some of the kids, like this 6, 7 thing, like y'all gotta keep staying young around here. Like I'm like, I can't even be mad. You know what I mean? Like they're great kids. Like
I love it. So just hold that option. I know, and sometimes you want a body in the building, but
right.
if you could do like, and they come out, they get on headsets, they get on their laptops. We do 2 hours. The other day, I said, "Oh, you guys on the road. If you can answer this question, I'll give you 15 minutes back." Why
Right.
they answer the question? I was sitting there looking stupid. I was like, okay, well, bye, and just cut off the.
It's time to go. Like, yeah.
But I was like, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get the exact word I want. And the girl
Right.
said, do. And I was like, okay, well, you guys are smarter than you think. Bye.
That means that you're doing a good job there then. I love it. But
Just
yeah, virtual, there's nothing like, I agree. Thank you, Benita. I have nothing against virtual. Like we actually have started to pull open what we used to call study hall. We had kind of online, we would have a study hall. The kids who were at home, and that is one thing, like I have noticed, a lot of our kids will continuously pay tuition and work from home. And I'm like, I'd love to see you here, but they don't, you know what I mean? Especially I have middle and high schoolers now. Like they're like, why would I come in? You know what I mean? Like I love for them to have the socialization, but a lot of them are like, I'd rather work from home. And I'm like, I get that because I like working from home too. You know what I mean? At least sometimes. So then I pop up on my computer and they'll, ask questions and chit chat and the other class is there behind me. So there's not, I've always like loved the virtual. There is something beautiful about in person, but there's the flexibility of virtual too. I love the hybrid kind of having both. Best of both worlds. Yeah, beyond school. No worries. All right. So I have a quick question regarding winter camps. I was aware that we didn't need a childcare permit, but I'm not 100% sure since I get mixed information on. Can we clarify before? Because I'd love to do one since I'd like to bring more attention to it. That's a great question. I'm like about to pause the recording. Different people do different things when it comes to that.
Wait. We know where that leads. As long as they're over 5, we're good.
Yeah, it's different people do different things. Like over 5 years old, technically, anything that you do that involves a drop off, you're supposed to have what they call an exemption form from your county. If you're in Broward, I feel like that's the rule in Broward. I think that different counties say and do different things. Over 5 years old, generally speaking, like a lot of people, it's not. I've seen challenges and I've seen no challenges on both sides. Legally, technically, you are supposed to get at least the child care exemption from your county, technically speaking. Yes, legal. Yes, every kid. I never remember. Yes, every kid. Who do we?
Yes,
do we
every
know?
kid, I think.
Yes, every kid generally is the one that really tells them. Oh, now they're staying together. Thank you, Justine. Yes, now she did send me that email. Now they're in Stand Together's group and do the same thing. They have said it too. They're like, technically, like it's like, so you're supposed to get this exemption. So basically you just fill out a form saying what you're going to do. And then the exemption will tell you whether or not you can do it. And then they will give you an exemption form. You're more legally protected when you have that. For anyone for technically any childcare drop off, I think under the age of like 13, technically. Not every micro school I know does that or goes that route. And they kind of, especially if they're a homeschool program, But does that answer? I hope that answers your question. I will not tell anyone which way to go. I will tell them.
Where do you apply for that, for the exception?
Oh, Broward County Child Care Licensing. I'm pretty sure is what that is. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like I haven't touched one in years, but yeah, there's like a form. Yeah, it's and I've seen people kind of get, you know what I mean, like caught up with it or not. But I usually don't even ask people if they like. I'm just like, because it's one of those. It's just another kind of like, But for most people, it's not required in the sense that I know a lot of people don't do it. That doesn't
It all
mean that
depends of the amount of hours, depends of the amount of hours that you have the child, the type of business, like the tutoring.
Yes, that too.
Also 1 to 2 hours max.
Yes.
So
Yes.
It has their ways.
Right. Yes.
But it's always a risk. Regardless, we're working with children, so there is always a risk.
Yes. 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 I know the liability that's involved, period, is always like a thing. So it's nice to have all your ducks in a row and everything as protected as possible. But at the same time, like that exemption, I know a lot of people don't, but I would never suggest not to because you should. Like
we should cover our
I think anything over 3 hours. I think anything over 3 hours, or maybe even 4. But I think an hour is fine. I've always seen like if parents are staying on site, generally it's okay. But then I've heard if it's over 5, but that's what the exemption form is for. Technically, it's supposed to be you tell them everything that you do, and then they tell you what you need. And then I've heard that they'll even send it back to you like, hey, if you do your program like this, you can get the exemption and you don't have to do it. So I've heard that they've been very kind of lenient to some degree with explaining to you what you need to do to get approved. So that might be another thing to kind of think about. Yeah.
It's interesting. What
Yeah.
about managing parents' expectations when it comes actually to the academics? That's one of the biggest struggles that I've been
To the
having.
what?
The expectations from the parents when it comes to the academics.
Oh, that's always such a hard one. Justine
That's
don't got
hard.
that problem because she has chainsaws. Like, her parents come to her just like, oh my God, it doesn't matter. I don't think that it I think at the end of the day, it will never matter. I think that at least for me and anyone else can kind of chime in. I think that if I do, parents do need to deschool. I think I can even deschool somewhat. I spoke to Akila. Does anyone know the Genius School? Do you know Akila? Her name is Karima Akila. She's doing the Genius School. If you don't follow her, she's amazing. She's like, I was actually on that call with her the other night. We did a panel together, and she spoke life into, you know who I'm talking about. That girl is like she's 5 years ahead, and I'm like, okay, now I need to join whatever you're doing, because she's like, that's where she's at right now. And but she's talking about unschooling and deschooling and things like that. I don't think that we're there. I don't think parents are ready for that yet. To manage parent expectations on academics, especially for our part-time kids, I'm always like, listen, like if you're doing this stuff at home, then you're gonna be okay. Like, but a lot of times they come in and they're like, I want you to work magic with like these 2 days a week, and I'm like, ma'am, like
that's what is happening. Like, you know, like I've been encountering families just kind of replacing traditional academics with our programs, but that's not realistic. And more or less when, you know, in the 3 days that we have, they're only
or even 5-hour days
once a week.
And we're doing a 5-hour day. Generally, I'm a 5-hour day and then 2 hours in the morning. And then the rest is all supposed to be like socialization and things like that.
Same.
I think I know the first conversation I always have immediately, I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know who we are. like when they get on the phone, I'm like, I just want to let you know who we are and who we're not. And I feel like, and I can tell you there's 3 programs that do that in this area. We just don't. And I like to be really, really, really clear is that, you know what I mean? Home.
I've been doing the same thing.
And it's still like, we still get to that point at a certain point in the year, or a certain point last year, that was a lot of our families like, you know, wasn't academic enough. And I was like, well, the goal was never that, you know what I mean? But it's hard because sustainability wise, we also want to make sure that we are giving what we need to fight to get to where we need to go financially too. But I think that speaks to as well, like being who we are and being really the authenticity piece that kind of comes up. But I don't think parents will ever be 100% happy. Thank you, Karima Akila. Yeah, Benita, Karima. But I think to answer your question, Andre, and to like be really, really clear, I think that we're always, and I think I'm talking to a lot of founders right now. There's tons of families that there's a lot more options now, and a lot of people are just pulling their kids from, you know, traditional school, and they're just going, I just want a smaller traditional school. You know what I mean? And that's okay. But I do think we just need to be very honest with them and very honest with ourselves about what we're truly capable of giving and what we're willing to give. Because like, I'm not stressing anybody out. I'm not stressing myself out with like doing certain things. Like I'll check the boxes. But I think being honest with
the families, like, you know, if you're looking to replace traditional school, we're not that people.
But you know what though? But I do tell them, hey, here's this workbook and here's this here's
all the ones that I know.
But I'm like, you can also come if you come to us and that's what you want to do. I have families that do come to us. I have one family that comes to us and their kids ahead in the Zern, their kids ahead in everything because they go to home and they also do homework at home. And I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that. But hey, if you truly want that for your, you know what I mean? Like if that's what you want, but you will, like Mimi said, the keyword is home.
There are some parents that put the effort, but there are others that they just pretend that coming 2-3 days a week
is gonna cut
like, it's not realistic. So I just wanted to see what other people is doing.
Oh yeah, I'm just being really honest. Yeah, Mimi, go ahead. Sure, thank you.
Okay, so that is my famous phrase, like homeschool, the first word being home. So what are you guys doing at home? We transitioned to an online platform this year. So the kids are doing work on the computer instead of work in workbooks. That's what I did last year. And so I found myself sending a lot of stuff home. And when we transitioned to online, I'm like, but your kid could still be doing their platform at home, number one. So whether they're sick, they're out, they're on vacation, that online portion is still
and that happens all the time.
Yes.
And they don't count that.
I have a child that is not coming the whole week because he wakes up with fever.
Exactly.
And that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, it is definitely a challenge. Go ahead, Mimi. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm like, I agree.
The other thing was because I could take ownership and I could buy the licensing and register the kids. What I had the parents do was register them themselves under their account. So the parent is coming to me at our quarterly meetings with a report. It's not me coming to you and showcasing what your child has done this quarter. It's you coming to me and saying, like, having your questions, you know, what do you see when they're working on this or that or the other? It's not me informing the parent.
Right.
It's us
Yeah, yeah,
having
yeah.
a
That gives you a
collective
partnership.
conversation.
Right. That's very
Yeah.
collaborative. That does
I
sound
always
like.
tell the parents we are a resource, we are an add-on, not the main thing. We are adding on to what you're already doing. Like it's all about verbiage and front loading your parents. So like I said, this is we're in 2.5, 3 year mark of what we're doing. So what I started doing is offloading parents at the end of the year that did not buy into the vision of like we are a resource. So this time when you're doing your curiosity days or your shadow days that you want to onboard families, there for me, I don't have any spaces. So I'm like, who am I onboarding that doesn't catch the vision? I mean, who am I offboarding that doesn't catch the vision? Who am I offboarding that is not helping their child? Who am I offboarding that is not really
a fit
buying into the homeschool thing? They just want public school mentality in a smaller setting. And so those are the people that I'm giving up their seats and offering a seat to somebody else.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing about like having like the more students that you have is being able to say, hey, like if this philosophy is not aligning, you know what I mean? And it's I think it's like such a challenge because there are so many different kind of like philosophies when it comes to micro schools in general. So a lot of people come out and they're really just like, hey, my kid has ADHD. I want them to be able to catch up and go back to middle school. You know what I mean? And they're in the 4th grade now. And that's kind of my goal. And I'm like, it can happen. You're going to be doing a lot of work. You know what I mean? And that's not even like my philosophy. So a lot of times I'm like, this is not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be happy here. Like, please go to like option 1, 2, or 3. Now, if you're coming here and you're like, hey, my kid is depressed, they're anxious, they really are not doing great at school. And I know that I have this vision for them. They just want to do like this amazing thing in life. And they're great, like talented, like kinesthetically, and they can do backflips, like just not even thinking. Those are my kids. You know what I mean? And I love hearing that in conversation because I'm like, that's our kid. You know what I mean? Like, those are my kids. And I will do the other things, but I'm always really honest, I think, about like what we're capable of doing. I think is probably the best. But that's so hard when you're kind of either restructuring or you're, you know what I mean? Like that's a real big challenge. Being really honest because you're trying to make sure you can market to everybody to some degree. And you know that, you know what I mean? Like it's still a lesson I think we all kind of always come back to is like, you want the students. If you don't have enough students, it's like crap. You know what I mean? Like you want to make sure that you're kind of serving, but you always lose like that. We always lose that. Like no matter what, it always is like, you know, crap. I have this family here who's not going to be happy, you know, at the end of the day. I had a lot of families and a lot of that comes back to like for us last year, I was out of the building and we had a lot of families come in with the goal of academics and they weren't like my team wasn't, and it's no fault, like my fault really. I didn't express to my team how important it was that we said that was not who we are. So by the end of the year, a lot of families offloaded like, oh, like we didn't get the academics that we were kind of promised, you know, during conversations. And it was really challenging. And I was like, well, like that's not what the conversation should have been from the beginning, but that's okay. Now we can really get back to our vision of who we truly are. And I've like sat there and I prayed on it. Like I need families that like they need to like work from home and they need us as social support. They can even bring their own curriculum and we can do as much as we can within the 2 hours. We have 2 hours of academics per day. And God, the next day sent me like the perfect parent. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like send me more of these, please, because that's the dream. And that's who we started as, you know? So yeah, Justine, I think you know a little bit about that too. I don't know if you're here. Anyone else want to pop in and say anything about that to answer Andreas? Because I talk too much. Like, the question was like, how are you kind of expressing to parents that, right? This is not, you can repeat your question because I feel like some kind of are just popping back in.
No, just technically, you know, setting up the parents' expectations with academics, like, you know, who you are. So, for example, our program right now this year, we're on a 3-day program. They can sign up, you know, to 1, 2, or the whole 3 days. But each day, 1 day only, they do math, writing, the other one, social study, science. So each day of the week, there is only one time that they're doing, you know, their academics or they're working on one course. So I have encountered that most of the families that are being visiting or touring, they're looking more for that replacement of academics. So it's
Only.
like, okay, that's this year, that's not us, and that's not going to be us regardless. Like for
Right.
that, you can tutor, and you can either bring your curriculum or we can provide, but they
Right.
need to do the 101, and then they can supplement with the 3 days. But yes, like meeting those expectations is like, oh my gosh, they don't get it though.
Yeah, they still won't. They still won't.
Yeah.
Because they're always being bombarded. Think about it. They're being, it's just like
Yeah.
cigarettes, right? Like they're getting ads all the time for their friends all go. You know what I mean? Like, I think Justine, like, I'd love for you to jump in here because
Yeah.
she has Curious and Kind, which is like, tell them a little bit about your school just so that, because I think we all dream of being able to offer something like that. That's like incredibly
know.
self-directed.
Yeah,
But you were courageous enough.
Yeah, we're self-directed and we serve homeschoolers and we don't do any academics. We don't promise any academics. We use emergent curriculum, which means it really comes from the kids. So whatever they're interested in is what we uplift and do and explore and think about. We don't do any units, any projects. We have zero expectations of academics. But if you want to have a program for academics, it's totally fine. Like, I think that's great too. And I'm glad that people have that. I wanted to add one of the things that you said was just about clarity. I feel like I almost like I try to like unsell them. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yes.
so you
This is not for
know.
you. This is
Like,
not for you.
just
Like,
so
not,
you know. Right, exactly. Like, and then when a parent's like, well, what academics do you do? I'm so clear, right? Like that is, we do not. And then another parent asked me about report cards the other day. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked me what kind of documentation we use. And I shift the word to documentation. Like, you're not going to be getting a report card. You're going to be getting like pictures of your kids playing, you know?
Love it.
right.
And then the last thing I wanted to share too is there's things called choice navigators, right? And I'm on a call, Lovey. I'll get right back to you. I love you so much. I know the kids just saw that I'm here.
I know.
The choice navigators. So I refer people to choice navigators all the time. I'm like, have a look on Step Up to find navigators in our area that can help you, like coach you on what you want as a homeschooler, and what you're looking for. How do you want to use this money? People can coach you and help you unpack all of your own stuff because I can't do that with you on a 45-minute call, right?
Yeah.
And then they can refer to different programs if what I'm sharing with you doesn't sound quite right. And people have loved that so much.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great option.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
great
great.
idea. And we know, I think we all have Marie, who is probably like like Marie Bestman, who is with Step Up. She's a choice navigator. And I know that she knows about all the different things. I'd probably be like, hey, like Marie is really great at that. And I don't do that anymore. So I think that's a great idea. Usually like people come to me and I can already tell, like my gut's already like, oh, I already know what kind of parent you are. I love you, but this is not for you. Let me go ahead and just direct you. Within like the first 5 words, I'm like, I already know, like you're not going to be happy here. And then they're like, but my kid would be, and I'm like, but you're going to give me hell. No offense. So when you're truly ready, and that's what Karima had to do with me yesterday, because I have a 15-year-old who I started Kind for, and he is like, he's high school. And I'm like, you should dual enroll and you should do all this. He's like, Mom, I've hated school since I was 4. Like, why are you trying to make me do this? And I'm like, because I'm going to be embarrassed if you grow up and you don't do like all these, you don't get a master's, right? Because you're representative of me. And Kareem was like, ma'am, like, but I'm like, I'm not ready to unschool completely. But she unsold me too from her genius school. She was like, I was like, come back in 6 months when you're ready to truly deschool, if that's what you're thinking about, Yvonne. But that was a great kind of example of that. Urel, do you want to add anything about parent expectations? Because I know you do this as well with your kids.
So basically, like right now, what we have going on is I have 3 different programs. I have my kindergarten and pre-K program. I have my elementary program, and then I have the middle and high school program. And each one has a certified teacher. Beautiful. So my pre-K program has a certified Montessori and Reggio Emilia preschool teacher that leads the class. And then I have a K-12 ESC certified teacher that leads my elementary program, and a middle and high school certified teacher as well. So they work with the kids for an hour and a half in the mornings. And it's really small group and almost individualized, almost to the point of one-on-one. So the academic block is literally only an hour and a half. So whatever that they can get done, even if it's just writing one sentence, that's what they get done. So that's the expectation that I set. I don't really, when they go through their portfolio, it's like, okay, they wrote this paragraph in the elementary class, but it took the whole week.
That's okay.
So
I love that. I'm gonna just kind of like add in. So your students you do have neurodiverse learners, and usually like ASD, I'm assuming. So there's like behavior sometimes, like right, EBD might be things. So that's why, you know what I mean? That's completely at their level. And families who come to you, are they already like, oh, because my learner's neurodiverse, like I know, because sometimes it's like families come to me and they're like, I want you to do this perfectly, and they also have EBD. So make it happen. And I'm like, ma'am, I gotta work on their like social stuff first.
I get all the high functioning, I get all these high functioning children that we know the support, like they need.
Love you, Justine. And we have like 3 more minutes so for everybody else.
And it's like, we need to work on so many other things before we actually get them to the understanding of the academics. But I mean, it's always a struggle. And well, the teachers, like I have the same issue finding teachers, but since the beginning, I always had that
teachers. Yeah, but you seem to be like that's generally the way it works, is like 2 or 3 like really good core teachers. And this year we lost 2 of our oldest teachers, 2 of our longest kind of serving teachers. So they were amazing. Like it wasn't like generally it was like, reasons that people outgrow too. 3 years. Yeah, 3 years at the same is not, and I still have one that's been there for 4 years, but it is a reality, especially now with everything that's happening. It's just like financially, a lot of people need a lot more than what
that's what's been happening to me.
Of course.
The part-time hours I'm giving is not enough. So I'm like, oh my gosh.
It is a thing. Mimi, how are you doing? Oh no, you don't have enough teachers either, right? Who has too many teachers? Like I don't have too many teachers anymore. You have too many? Who has too many?
Too many.
Like, you do get a lot. What's your trick? That'll be the last question, because
but she's in person.
It's a lower cost of living.
Yes, it is.
Lower cost of living.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So I have my 3, and then I have an executive assistant who runs like the whole day. And then I have a bunch of substitutes and assistants that just like come in and volunteers, and just like, everyone wants to help. It's like this.
When you started though, it wasn't like that. So what do you feel like you did? What are 2 things you did that you feel like really pushed it to be that way?
I think just really sharing what we're doing. All of our teachers are also parents of the kids. So I think just sharing what we're doing, and then the parents are like, hey, this is really cool. Like, how can I help? How can I be involved?
And I'm going to ask you one more question. Financially, sustainability wise, how are you charging those families? And you don't have to answer that on the call either. But I think that's like one of those questions that a lot of people are like, what are we going to do? I have teachers who are teaching, and that's a hard one because
I posted not too long ago how to, how you charge their kids,
right? And
even harder when they don't have the scholarship yet for whatever reason.
They came in without the scholarship, or they have a private school scholarship in Europe, and they haven't. So go ahead, Urel, and you don't have to share that if you don't, because I know that's a tricky.
No, it's fine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I charge them 50%. All of them pay 50%.
So whatever the tuition is. I won't say that. I had some conversation around. They were like, well, how are you charging to it? Like, why are you charging us tuition every year? Like, I was like, bro, like for real? Like
I wasn't charging them.
They don't understand what goes into running something like this. It's a lot.
The expenses are wild, y'all.
Yes.
And I'm not wild. They're like constant. I was on with Giselle, who's not here. I'm gonna shout her out too, though. We were talking about toilet paper. Like,
she's doing great.
She's doing amazing. But it's still the same conversations. Like, you know how much toilet paper is? Like, like you don't know how much toilet paper I go through every week, or how much paper towels we go through.
My kids don't go to the bathroom, but the paper towels. Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's that. Did you answer fully, Urel? Do you feel like you kind of like you posted a lot? People loved seeing it, and then you have parents who are
hired a social media person. She's like doing incredible right now. Like, I don't know if you've seen like the social media difference. It's like crazy.
I haven't watched, but I do remember you posting in the group. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Thank you, Urel.
You gotta take a look. Okay.
That's
I
all.
was just gonna ask if everybody can share their social media handles because I want to make sure like I'm following everybody on Instagram.
Yay. No, I love it. So I'll pop mine in the thing, and I am gonna just wrap up here.
Yeah.
It was great hanging out with y'all. I do have to do my pitch because that's my job at this point, is to say, as everybody knows, like this used to be Launch Your Kind, who's now kind of like, we started the micro school group on Facebook and so many people came through there. We are going to go ahead and add like a membership option to that. Just because I do like to kind of give as much as I possibly can, but at the same time, I want to make sure that it's sustainable and that I'm like, that it's working for people and that I can continue to give as much as I can. So tell your people about it for the next, few weeks until January 1st. It's a free group, completely free. After that, we'll be giving out templates, things like that. Like I do still do Launch Your Kind, but we are doing it pretty much just business to client at this point, not like big cohorts anymore. So one-to-one coaching, that is not affordable for everybody at this point in the world. And I'm really like, okay, I want to make it so that, and there's nothing else happening. There used to be a lot of like little things that people were doing, like meetups and things like that, quarterly at least. And that's just not happening. And just, there's so many people here on the call, even right now. And I just posted and I'm like, I feel bad that there's not an option for people. But yeah, so this is one way for me to kind of give back, but also like let your people know they can join the group now. They can come into the Zoom meetings now. And then coming after January 1st, we will start charging as a membership. But at the same time, I also want to like start doing more meetups. KindCon, you guys will get access to a little bit earlier and probably at a discount, as well as there's one more thing that I'm like templates and things like that. Oh, as a matter of fact, the winter template, I'm going to put that in the group right after this. I think I already did for a lot of people, the winter camp, the Curiosity Day template. All you have to do is make a copy of it and then share it. And then there's like one more thing I want to start doing for the community. Is there anything that y'all want in the membership that you guys are all grandmothered in, not grandfathered, grandmothered, because we're matriarchy around here. Anything that y'all would love to see in a membership? Or is this like good enough? Like having this call monthly works, right? No, pretty much. Okay. Yeah, let me know what you want to see. I feel like there's like one more thing that I'm like, okay, that's going to be beneficial.
No, it's just being a while for me. And this morning I woke up, and I know we gotta go, but this morning I woke up like, okay, I'm pivoting, I'm closing, I'm not gonna offer anymore.
How many times are we gonna close around here? Like I'll be ready to close too. I was like, last week was hard. I don't know what was happening in the world, but I was crying every day.
Let me tell you, like something happened like these past few weeks that is like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But anyways, so like I just got into the email, like the pop-up, like 5 minutes for the call, and like, you know what? I do need to get in here today. Yes. I do need, so thank you so much.
I'm so glad that you made it. Like, and that's what I like.
Been
honestly,
a while,
there's no space for it anymore, and it's like there's nobody else that understands that toilet paper is expensive for us. You know what I mean? And we're most likely moms too, so we're buying toilet paper at home, and it's like, but how am I supposed to do this thing?
The snacks are killing me. The snacks.
The snacks. Oh, we don't do snacks at Kind because we have so many allergies. So yeah, but no, see, like that's. But I know a lot of people that do snacks, and I was like, damn, I can't do snacks here.
Snacks are hard.
But yeah, either way, like just know that it'll continue to get better most of the time, and when it's not, then you can call us and cry and just cry in the meetings. I used to cry all the time. I still do. But thank you all so much for coming. Please tell people that we are doing this. I meant to tell one other founder and I forgot to, crap. But either way, I'll let her know. And the replays are going to be available as well. If you sign in under your email address, you will get the Read AI note. And if you're not on that list, then send me an email to iman@kindacademy.org and I'll add you to that list. The email to send to me is iman@kindacademy.org. I will add you to our email list so you can get on the calendar event so you can get the replays if you need it, or I'll send you the replays whenever you request, okay? Thank you all for coming. Have a great night. I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye, Andrea. Bye, Allinson, Terry Ann, Maria. I didn't get to see you guys tonight. Bye, Mimi. Bye, Yarel. Bye, Benita. I hope you have a wonderful night and good luck with your businesses. Success, okay? Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome, y'all. Good night.
Bye, Andrea.
Good night, everybody.